Hello people, hello folks, how are you? So today I observed certain video that is showing Trump, standing on the podium and with one finger down, and he is moving about aimlessly and like a statue, right? And then it hit me. That's the one man occult, the worship of one man. This is around, folks. When he stands on the podium and dance and sing and stand like that and move about, showing himself to his audience or to in the rallies, those who are surrounding the uh, uh, podium on the bleachers and standing up, and they cheer him without saying a word. He moves like as if he's a statue of a god, right? Demigod, fake god. This is going on in the world, folks, and this is proven and spoken. Like, for example, take that Assad of Syria, right? The one who killed millions and destroyed millions, and with help from his brother in Moscow and in Tehran and here and there, right? And so on and so forth, right? These guys do believe, and they're on a mission. They have an occult, a cult, or an occult as well, right? This is an old practice, like the Sufis, Sufis, right? Who, they say they're Muslims and they're not, right? And and certain occults like the Sabbatians and whatnot, they worship one man, right? Lenin was one, Stalin was one, and these guys do believe from their heart in their dogma, that dogma that is not so declared, right? That they hold the life and death of the individual below them, right? And Assad is one, and he destroyed Syria. Before him, his father, he also destroyed a city in Syria, and we know about their gulags and jails and so on. Ayatollahs are one. The Moscow communist leaders are. The Assad of Syria are. Nasser was. MBS, MBZ, the Gulf rulers, and here and there in Algeria and in Kazakhstan and in China, and Pol Pot, and in Burma, and Castro. Castro was one, right? And Pinochet, and so on. So this here, Trump today, when I saw him standing and moving, like moving about like that, it just hit me. That's his occult, folks. This guy believes from his heart. He hasn't declared it. Only they declare it when they are in total control of the country, right? And guess what? That's what he thinks. And then basically they feel they own the country. They feel they have everything in the country and the people as well. And this, you ought to really consider this. At least I will explain to you the Sufis. The Sufis have something called hulul, which comes from the word halla or mahal. Taj Mahal, right? Or the downings, mahallat or manazil, downings, right? Arabs used to use it. And then what happens is they have a belief that God or Allah placed Himself in the body of a human being, right? And then now they rule as such. What if God was one of us? You remember that song by a certain singer? I forgot her name. Or in the Vikings series, the Vikings. What if your God was a brim-hat person? And right. And these guys, right? You would see this concept also happening in movies like the one I'm making comments on, like in Alien 1979. That xenomorph, placing himself in Kane, and then eventually in Jonesy, and it's called possession sometimes, but they consider God as coming into them, and they become the gods of the people, right? That's what this guy thinks, right? That's what he believes, and that's what he's going to do. But these guys don't do anything unless they're firmly in the country, right? And then they begin to see their bloody side. Let's go talk about the United States and Russia. You may think it's not going to happen, that this guy is going to transfer and ship the nukes and the warheads and defang the United States and ship them to Russia. This guy, Trump and Putin, right? Trump will be acting just like the dictator, of Ukraine before the expulsion. He was expelled and deposed, and he ran to Russia, right? He will make this country a backyard, a state in the federal, in the Russian Federation. That's all. You don't think so? What else did he talk about, right? He talked about the one-day dictatorship. That's declaring the martial law, right? It doesn't take more than 1 day, and so on and so forth. I can sit here all day long. You guys don't know what's going on, right? there are things that he will do, right? He said he will do, and he will do. I have no reason to believe not, right? So this country is becoming, if this guy comes and grasps power and he's able to nullify the constitution and declare the martial law, and as I say, number one, this will be more like Cuba. Number two, Russia will own it and come and dictate everything that this country does. That's it, folks. You have no idea to the urgency and how urgent the situation is now, right? For you to go and vote against him and against Putin coming into the White House. Again, I'm not saying Kamala Harris and Biden are the best presidents around or somebody around, right? But they're far better than what's coming from Moscow. Ask Europe. What happened in Europe in the last century? There's a movie called A Woman in Berlin, The Rape of Berlin. And they said they will burn Berlin to the ashes, right? Guess what? They haven't changed, right? They're still there. Those very same people. That occult, which I just mentioned to you, the worship of one man. Notice, thousands upon thousands are getting killed, of Russians are getting killed, and Ukrainians too, right? And all because they want to make a ceasefire. They want to get a ceasefire going. Why? Because Putin is falling apart, right? Russia is doing pretty bad, right? Right? And these people are getting killed just because they want Ukraine to cede land to Putin to give them a fake victory. And what's going to happen afterwards? Well, you've seen the Minsk agreement and what happened afterwards, right? Look at them. If Ukraine or Europe or the world, for that matter, gives peace to or ceasefire to Russia, they're going to regroup and come back. They've done it time and again in Syria and Chechnya. In Chechnya, they signed an agreement with the Chechens, right? And they came back and in 1 week killed like 250,000 people in Grozny, shelling Grozny, you know, like the capital of Chechnya. Oh, they killed 250,000 people. They reneged on the very agreement they signed with them. And in Syria, they reneged on thousands of those agreements with the various cities and so on. That's the occult, folks. When he stands up like that and moves like that, he's telling them, this is your God. And they believe that, not believe that. Well, we don't know if they believe that wholeheartedly, but that's the occult they belong to. The assassins, the Hashashin, read it, the Hashashin, they're still there. The Sabbatians, they're still there. The Hashashin, they're all over the Middle East, in Syria as well. They own the government now. Look what they've done to Syria. The vast majority, 85%, was just done away with, right? 2 million just disappeared. 2 million got killed, and the rest just evaporated, just are refugees all over Europe. If Iran and Russia caused that flood of refugees, right, to happen in Syria, why did they not take those refugees? Instead, they send them to Germany and Europe, right? And guess what? There's a new flood coming your way, you Europeans, that of Lebanon and of Gaza. You think these people are not going to try to get out of there? That's the occult, folks. Trump is an extension of that occult. That's it. He believes he's the God of America, from wholeheartedly. Not that he has anything to show for it. Dumbasses. All right. So that's it, folks. I am serious here. That's it just hit me now. Is that really this guy thinks he's a god, right? You know, the way he's like the music is playing and he's turning around like this and probably dancing. That's when he's like showing them that this is your god. He really believes it. You know, Assad of Syria the other day delivered a speech in the Congress, right? Something similar to the Congress, People's Assembly, right? He was very clear about him that they should die and that the Syrian people should die and breathe and live for himself. You know, he said Syria and he pointed toward himself and they all stood up, jumping up and down like donkeys, right? You know, that they will sacrifice all that they are for him. I swear by Allah, you know, that's them, you know, that's them. That's an extension of them. Trump is really. Have a nice day. You know what? I'm laughing, but it's no laughing matter. You folks, this is it, you know. If this guy, Trump, comes to the White House, just drop the curtains on the United States once and for all. That will remain the same. Oh, if you have $1, he's going to take it. And they're making those statements time and again. Have a nice day, my friends here, and please understand what I'm saying.